It's got to be rearranged.
We're on, and it is CelebrateLife.me on reggae2reggae.com. Today, we are continuing our week of spiritual health. How to get back into spiritual health. How to achieve a oneness between your spirit and the spirit of your Creator. So this is the most exciting week to date. You'll notice that every time I say this is the most exciting, then the week before had the same thing coming. But that is part of the Creator's plan. He says that every day is going to be more exciting and more abundant than the day before. And so we have to believe it and we have to actualize it. So remember that every day is better than the day before. The thing about good old days is wonderful. From what point of view? That you can go back into those beautiful memories of yesterday and really just ruminate in it and say, oh, was that wonderful? But guess what? Tomorrow is going to be better. So, today is the best day of my life. And when I get to tomorrow will be the best day of my life. But I can't see from today and say tomorrow will be the best day, because guess what? When you do that, you are living in the future. And whenever you live in the future, it causes anxiety. That's right. And guess what? When you live in the past, it causes you depression. So I bet you didn't know that. All you therapists who are treating people for bipolar, which is what we call manic depressive condition, it's because people are anxious at one time and they are depressed at another time, and they call it bipolar. It's a result of chemical imbalances in your brain and your cognitive area. But guess what causes the imbalance? The imbalance are caused by emotional dysfunctionalities. And when you are emotionally dysfunctional, then your body sends out certain chemicals in the wrong quantity, and that is what causes the chemical imbalance. That's a principle we need to understand in the physical area, in the psychological area, and in the spiritual area. That is why we did yesterday the priority relationship list, and I'm going to start with it today because it is absolutely essential that we understand how to balance back everything so that it comes in the right time and then in the right space, because everything is about what is appropriate for this time and in this space. That is what life is all about. Because we know that, if I want to go to the beach, then it is not appropriate for me to put on my church clothes for that time and that space. And it is similarly not appropriate for me to put on my beach outfit to go to church, because it's not the right time or the right space. So the trick is this, to find out what is appropriate for the right time and the right space. I have to make sure that I am appropriately dressed for the right time and space here on reggae2reggae.com, where I am. We're doing a reality show here. What is reality and what do we need to get in place to have? Mr. Producer, you can see my shoes? No? I've left my foot higher? You can see it now? No? Oh my goodness, that means that you have now a close-up view, man. I need to move back a little bit, because the shoe is a very, very important part of the program today, right? It's showcasing the Jamaican way, right? These are crochet shoes made by my friend in Santa Cruz. Wow, telling you, I have it in about 5 or 6 different colors. And they are so comfortable, so classy. Can you get a good view of it? Are we seeing it? Don't tell me I have to lift my foot higher.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, no man, something wrong there. We have to get, after the break, we have to readjust the camera because this is a very important part of the whole thing today. Right, okay. So, appropriateness for time and space is what is so important for us to understand how we can celebrate every moment of every day. Doesn't matter what's happening. It is our response to what's happening that will make the difference. The difference. And that response has got to emanate, start from, come out of the spiritual area. Where we, our focus and our objective is to keep the spirit that has been breathed into us in sync, meaning it must be lined up with the spirit of our Creator, so that we don't have no stress. You know, stress is when things rub against each other or they're not coordinated and so on. Things just not running smoothly. That's what stress is. And the main way of getting rid of stress is to make sure that you're well coordinated, your spirit and the spirit of your Creator. Voila! So once you understand the principle, then the next thing is how do you put it into action? And that brings us to today's day, where we're doing rule number 3, which is pay as you enter. But before we do rule number 3, we always have to always see everything we do in a context. Whether it is a geographical or a financial or a spiritual or psychological or physical context, we have to always go back to the context. We have to always go back to the ground rules, to the principles. And that's where it comes from. The book. So here we have today being our rule number 3 day. So let's look at all 4 rules, which are the rules of Celebrate Life.me. And they are: 1, know where you're going. 2, know your driver. 3, pay as you enter. And 4, enjoy the ride. So, as we go and look at making sure we all enjoy the ride, which is tomorrow, we have to look at our responsibility, which is pay as you enter. You can't come on to this journey and decide that, you know, I'm here for a free ride. There is no such thing as a free ride. Because if you are not paying the fare, somebody has to pay it. Who is going to maintain the vehicle? How are we going to put in gas, oil, have maintenance done, have all different whatever? We all understand that, right? Life cannot go on without maintenance. And that is what we concentrate on, because if you maintain the vehicle, it will run smoothly. And if you maintain your body, it will run smoothly. Remember, I showed you our exercise yesterday about maintaining this muscle that usually flaps down here. You notice it? Not a flap again, not flapping again. Right? Because of work on it. Right? And I'm going to show you that exercise because some people said, look here, show me the exercise again because I need to get this right. So, you sit on the side and pull in your derriere here. Your derriere is out here, so you pull in the abdominals and then you hinge the hand. Keep the elbows as close back as you can, and then you can do this with or without a weight. You hinge out and come back in. So don't do this, right? You're going to keep the position as high as you can and as close together, because it's 2 of them working together. But I don't want to lick over my thing up here, so that's why I use in one hand. So pull in on here, and then you hinge out and in. And how did I get back my muscle tone? It took me 3 days. I did 100 3 times a day, morning, noon, and evening. And so 1, 2, 3, 4. The rest you do on your own after all. I don't need it any longer at this time, so we will work on that at another time. But that's what you do. And what did I use for my weights? I recommend start at free, and then you go up to 2, 3, 5. This is about 7 pounds. It's a soda bottle or some kind of drinks bottle. And then I have filled it with pebbles and water. So it's quite heavy actually. And so I have to work up to this. But I also have other weights going up to 15 pounds for these free stuff, which is really very heavy. And then whenever I want to do presses, then I use my body weight. And the way we do that, I had shown you in probably the first week of shows how I keep my shoulders, neck, chest, and across the back by putting the 2 palms against the side of a door jamb and spreading your feet way back where you are about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 feet away from the door jamb. So you're slant, your body slant like this, and your 2 hands are on the jamb. And then you make sure that the body is not sticking up like this, but it's flat out. And from that slant, now you just bend your elbows and come back up. Bend, and it's like a press up. You're carrying your whole body weight, especially when you get down to the lowest position. It's like you want to kiss the door. Mwah! And you come back up. So you can open the door so you can go past it. But it works, I'm telling you. I do that every morning and sometimes every night. And that just maintains 20 of them, just 20. 20 press-ups morning and 20 press-ups in the evening. So let me tell you something. Anytime you want to achieve anything, you have to have a program. That is why I say, know where you're going. Have a direction, have a destination, have a goal, objectives. Know where you're heading to. And your goal must exceed your grasp, you know what I mean? Must be way above your abilities. How else are you going to be stretched into those abilities? So, get your goals. Doesn't matter what you want. Get your goals. And don't even pay attention to anybody who tells you you can't reach them. Because guess what? You're not depending on them to reach it. You are depending on your Creator. And He can do all things. So, I can do all things when I line up with the way He wants me to do it. Isn't that easy? Wonderful. So today we are concentrating on pay as you enter. What is your responsibility when you come to look at where you want to go? We already looked yesterday at the capabilities of our Creator, because it is through that we can embrace and use the resources that are available to us from the point of view of, can I do this? Is it going to work? We already have the end in here. So you know that you know, like I know that if I follow those instructions and guidelines, I must get to the expected end, because I'm following a plan. I am following a plan. And so we're going to going to go over the exact plan that we're following when we get back, because we have to take a break now. So it's our first break, and we'll be back very, very quickly. Mr. Producer, make sure it's a short break. Thank you.
Since the first public demonstration of radio by Nikola Tesla in 1893, no one ever thought of putting the 2 hours of music together until we created reggae2reggae.com.
You tell me literally, I didn't know you were going to make it so short. But anyway, moving right along. Oops. All right. Yeah. Okay, moving right along. Now, pay as you enter. Let me tell you something about this pathway that we have to trod if we have decided that we're going to celebrate life. You know what? It is all or nothing. It's all the way. You cannot commit to this a part of your focus. You have to be totally committed. Why? Because in the process of getting there are mountains and valleys and detours and stuff. And a lot of people, they expect everything to go up and just finish. No, that's not how life is. Because in the mountains and the valleys, the detours and the curves is where our strength comes from. Because when you get thrown a monkey wrench into the wheel and you have to pull up, then you have to now pull on all those resources that you have on the inside. And that's how we develop the smallest dog, my friend. And guess what? His computer crashed. Lost everything. I said, oh, no. You are not accepting that. Because the material that you have on your computer, I need for my show. So guess what? It's going to come back. You know what I did? I went to this little book. As soon as I got information, I said, no. What is the truth of this situation? Remember, the facts are what we see, So we cannot deny the facts. We're not going to be in denial. The facts are what we see. But we are not going to let our emotions nor our actions respond to the facts. We have to respond to the truth. What is said in here? That anything you want, that is according to what is in here, you can have it. How? You shall have what you see. So we're not talking about it crashing anymore. No, we're talking about the fact that we've got angels. We haven't done anything on angels yet, but wait until I get the angel program up and tell you some stories. Not dopey story, real stories of the angels who have assisted me on countless situations. So I start and look up and I say, well, angels, do you know that I have over 600 angels assigned to me one? And so do you. You can decide if you want to use only half of your angels or one. That's your decision. But me, I put mine to work. The slave driver that I am, 24/7. All when I go into my bed, I just dispatch them all over the world, Send them all over. And I just said, look here, you need to bring to pass what is in this little book. Because it's not my desires. But when my desires line up with what is in this little book, I just say them out. Look here, just go and go find all the stuff. Not only what was just lost, but what was lost before. And bring it back, because it is going to come back. Because this here show is a part of what is in this book for my life. And so it has to come to the expected end. And so it must happen. So this is why we have to know what is in the book for us individually. Because what is in there for me is a little tweaked, a little different from what is in there for you. Same principles, but different outworking. So we have to understand that is where we are going with this. This is why my responsibility is one, to give it all. You can't give it a half-hearted shot. You must give it your everything. So when you pay as you enter, you don't go in and say, well, I have 100, but I'm only going to give this 10%, because maybe that's my tithe. I said, no, that's a whole pile of, things that you shouldn't be mentioning. And so you need to understand that once you know what is in this book, then you know how to proceed. You know what to do, what to say. Because remember, we have our bigger brother who was here before. And guess what? I'm talking about the Creator's Son, the one who created perfect. And when he came down here, you know what he did? He took away, or he voluntarily gave up all his power and came down here just like us. And guess what? He decided that he is going to use the same methodology that we have available to us. And only that. That's right. So guess how he did all the miracles that he did. He just look in his little book. His book wasn't written. It was all in here. It was all in his head. And he looked in the book and he said, wow, I am only going to speak what I hear my Father speak. And I'm only going to do what I hear I see my Father do. So every time he was faced with a problem, he just went to his little book up here, turned the page and he says, when I'm faced with this situation, what should I do? I don't know if that's the accent he had, but, because he was a Jew. That's not how Jews talk. Anyway, the point is this, that he just looked into the book and then he just started to say what was in the book over the situation, and then he started to do what he saw his father do. How he would speak and things would come into being. And he remembered what it says, you shall have what you say. So you don't go out there and say, oh my goodness, everything crashed. You go out there and say, it's going to be bad. I'm going to send my angels. Everything's going to be okay because I've been given abundance. And what is abundance? Crash is not an abundance. That is the other part that we were looking at yesterday about the thief who comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Remember what I said? I have to look at the people because that was just so good the way the Spirit gave it to me. He said, the enemy come to kill your passion. Number one. Two, him come to steal your health, your wealth, your peace, your love, and your joy. And then kill, steal, him come to destroy your life. And when you understand that sequence of events, anything that is killing your passion, anything that is stealing your health, wealth, peace, love, and joy, and anything that comes to destroy or kill your life, you know that it don't come from your Creator, it comes from the enemy. So what are you doing over there in this camp? Get out of this camp and go over to the other camp where you can have abundance, 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 abundance to deal with any situation that faces you. So anytime I need some abundance, I just know exactly where to go. And to recognize that maybe I did slip one of my foot back over the fence into the round camp. Come back, man, come back over. Anytime, all I do is say, hey, what am I doing here? No, so, come on, Mr. Creator, I'm sorry here. I am coming back right over to your side because that is where everything is. Alright? So that's how we do it. Pay as you enter. And you have to make your contribution. And your contribution is going to give everything. Just give all. Because if you give all, here is the exchange. Sometimes you think, I must give all. I can't keep a little bit for myself. It's an exchange. You know what it is? All for all. What I mean? What does that mean? That means if I give my all will get the Creator's all. That is why you have to love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And then everything will line up. That is why they say, seek it first. And then everything will be added. So, in one of the programs that I was talking about, you want a man? Seek first. You want a wife? Seek first. You want a job? A career? You want healing? What? What do you want? Then you got to seek first. Because there are priorities in life. You cannot build a house without a foundation. It will not stand up. And that is why we have to get our priorities straight. Alright? So, based on that, we need to now decide to set things in order. And in order to set them in order, we need to just put our all in it. I want to expand a little more on giving your all in exchange for his all. I mean, can you measure the Creator's all? You know, the other day, I did a study. It's the other day, maybe years ago. But, once you get to operating like the Creator, a day is like a year and a year is like a day. So, what's the difference? All right, moving on. The other day, I did a study of all. Every time all occurred in the operations manual. And I also included everything, every time, or anything that just was all inclusive. Listen to me, I was totally blown away. When, the two that stick with me, one, I heal every time. I say, so one time and people who never get healed. You know what the answer was? There are conditions. But I heal every time. So I said, what are the conditions? The conditions, just go upon the examples. That is why my big brother came to show me. And I look back and I said, what conditions were there that he could not heal? And guess what I found? The only time he could not heal was when there was unbelief or doubt. You're right. You're right. It's the only time he could not heal. So that means that you need to just deal with that. Because not only is all the prescriptions, not only are all the prescriptions in the operation manual, but guess what? They have a section that round the back here. It's called the troubleshooting. So you just look for the thing that you want to troubleshoot about, whether it is joy, or lack of peace, or relationships, or marriage. Just look for it there in the troubleshooting section in the back. And when you read all the operation manual has to say about that topic, you're going clear. Because you not only get the prescription, you get how to get out of the problem. Now, when you can have that sort of direction and guidance, empowerment, and resources available to you, why are you going to drink from the cistern? You know what the cistern is? Well, the garbage goes out. The waste water goes out. Why would I want to go there? And that is what Celebrate Life is all about. Bringing you into the place where you can celebrate every moment of every day. So, pay as you enter. Why am I going on so much about this all and everything? Because it is a key. And guess what? It is a key that you have to turn every day. Every time you have to make a decision, you gotta turn that key, right? And so that is the way to do it. And I just want to go over this again because we're going to a break, you know. This is break business anyway. We're going to a break. But before we go to a break, understand that when you come to pay as you enter, you must give everything. And anytime you realize that you didn't give everything, or you sort of start take back some of them, you know, we'll talk a little bit about that when I come back from the break. See you in a while. Are you struggling with some kind of health condition? Is it arthritis, high blood pressure, Crohn's disease, constipation, AIDS, cancer? Whatever it is, we can show you how to get your natural defenses up so that your bodies will deal with your condition. Join us as our studio audience on reggae2reggae.com when we will teach you how to celebrate every moment of your life. Call us at 336-7350 for information. Limited space.
Encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience.
Ooh, yeah. Somehow I know things have got to change.
Okay, we're back. I was trying to get my shoes into the picture, but we'll do it after the next break. Okay? But here we are talking about how to get into the place where we can access the alls that are promised to us. And it's simple, by giving our all. And remember, you know, once you get old, you know, sometimes you give somebody something, right? And guess what? They come by your house and they leave it at the house. And you just take it back. And when they come back from it, she said, you know something? Well, I was enjoying it so much when you left it at all right, here it is. You give it to them, and so they're taking it. You won't let go of it. You won't let go of it. That is what happens to us a lot of times. We give things and we take them back. That's all right. You just give it back again. Simple. Because guess what? You know, we are human beings. And our Creator understands. So all He is saying to you is don't worry. Once you recognize that you're off of the cart, you have jumped off of the cart, don't worry about it. Come back on. And there's a way. There's a way. Just recognize that, you know, I really have not been giving my all. So let's give everything. And guess what? Everything changes as well. Because, you know, many times I give everything and then something else comes into my life that is about to pull some of what's supposed to go in that direction. You know, like a relationship, always challenging. And it does not matter whether it is a child, a newborn child, or a significant other, or a job, or a new home. And very often the blessings, the good things that come into our lives as a result of the goodness of our Creator and the plan that He has for us is very often the thing that pulls from giving up our all. You know, two people, they get married and they're having a wonderful time for 2 years, and all of a sudden a blessing comes along. Children are a blessing from the Lord. They're like arrows in your hand. You know, they are, this is just wonderful, wonderful, right? And all of a sudden, your attention and focus is not only drawn away from number one, who is supposed to be your Creator, but she's also, as a wife, drawn away from number 2, who is supposed to be your husband. And that is where problems start. Because all of a sudden, the child has become number 2 when she or he is supposed to be number 3. We spoke about that when we were looking at spiritual health. You've got to keep those relationships in the right order, or else there are going to be dysfunctionalities in every single area. So, go back please and review that lesson and see how you can bring them back into line. And it's simple. You just drop everything for about 5 minutes, and you go to your creator and you say, look, I want to get back in line here. So I am going to go back to the place where I am going to put you first. And how do you do that in practical sense? Every time you wake up, long before day, whenever your day starts, because you don't want to have night people and day people and all that. You spend at least the first 5 minutes getting direction, having a little chit chat, comparing notes and blah, 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 blah. No, some people, 5 minutes does it. You see me? We get so embraced and embroiled in the whole thing. 2 hours pass and say, oh my goodness, my next time slot is up. And so I have to move on. But remember that has got to be your priority. It doesn't matter how long you spend. Okay? So that's how you maintain paying as you enter. You have to pay with all that you have. But remember, you always get in exchange. I don't know how many times more. Because in exchange for my all, when I get all that the Creator has for me, there is just no comparison. No comparison. So let us just remember that you don't have to be afraid of giving all. Because when you give all, you get access to all the resources of the total universe. Remember we were talking about El Shaddai? Remember that one? The many-breasted God. I remember I told you about my little drawing with breasts hanging down from the shoulder and the face and the head back and the hand and the foot and everything. Hundreds, thousands of breasts just hanging down, and anytime I want something I just stand right it and I just I'm clear. Now if you have those resources available to you, why are you drinking from the cistern where the dirty water is going out? Not a good idea. Alright? So pay as you enter. Going all the way is what you have to pay. And we have been looking at the path to total surrender. Embracing the Spirit's capabilities. Yesterday we told you everything that the Spirit has and does. He will give you direction. He will lead you into all truth. He will give you instructions so you lean not to your own understanding, but in all your ways, just look into the little book here, so read the instruction manual. And then he will constrain and pull you back from the edge of the cliff. He will correct and he will just make sure you don't get into too much trouble. And then he will inspire, motivate, stir you up, stimulate the right action that is in your best interest. And he gives life, abundant health, wealth, peace, love, and joy. That is why you have to know your driver. And then you get access to the fruit. Love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, meekness, kindness. Ooh, wow! And then you get access to the gifts. The gifts. You don't have to do nothing just go so plop and drop in your lap. But those gifts, when they drop in your lap, you have to open them and you have to use them. So when you get the gifts of healing, you don't wait until somebody ready for them. And you go and say, oh wonder, they're too far gone for me to use this gift. So you get a headache, you use it. So you shut your finger in the door, you use it. Every time you get a cough or a sniffle, you use it. Because guess what? You have been given authority over the birds of the air, the fish of the sea, and every creeping thing that creepy crawl is on the face of this earth, and that includes all bacteria, germs of all sorts, fungus, what's the other one? Virus. We have authority over them, but guess what? You have not because you ask not. You have not because you ask not. And we went over what it means to ask, seek, and knock until you get what you need. It's all there on a platter. Will you take it? It's all up to you. So, that's part of how we get on the path to total surrender. And then I also mentioned the gifts, incidentally, are prophecy, service, teaching, encouraging, giving, mercy, and administering with love and zeal. You know, so many people into work for the church or for any charitable organization, and Lord of mercy, them administer with lime juice, not with love and zeal. You must always be passionate about what you do. Remember, anytime your passion is stolen, is the enemy doing, right? Anytime you say, I'm not doing this any longer because I don't get the response I need. The response you have already gotten, which is the love, unconditional love of your Creator. What more you want? For that, you must always have zeal and passion about everything that you do. And then, how do you administer those gifts? In love. Unconditional love. And you know, boy, I want to look at something today. You know, it's been sort of in my spirit over the last week, and it has two things. We spoke yesterday about men. Was it yesterday or the day before? And I told you about the three major men in my life. My dad, Charles Olivia Case. My brother, Dr. Donovan Case. He lives in Wentzville, Missouri. And my late husband, Mr. Earl Constantine Chung. Three men of God who knew how to cry. And the major reason why all three of them cried was when they were overwhelmed by God's love for them and God's gifts to them. And so if you are a female out there and you ever tell your man that he is weak to cry, you need to be kicked out of your position of significant other, because this is how you see the strength of a man. Moving on, the therapeutic value of vulnerability, surrender, and close-knit community is how we need to move forward as individuals and as a community, as a nation. And we will never be able to realize that unless we are vulnerable at the individual level to respond appropriately to the unconditional love of our Creator. So, practical life changes that can drastically influence our health and enable miraculous recoveries. That is the use of the gifts and the use of the gifts and fruit, right? The use of the fruit which we have and which we need to continuously develop, and the use of the gifts which are not something that we have to develop, it's something that is given to us, right? Okay. So, I have something to read to you. And boy, it is so poignant because a friend sent it to me, and it was just so I don't know, relevant to where I was at in my own journey. I have a little challenge with people's responses to me because I tend to be a little forceful. Some people call me aggressive. I prefer to call it assertive. And at times I am challenged by the responses of persons who think I am doing things over. And sometimes it makes me want to pull back, dress down, sort of cool it. And then I would go to God and say, oh God, why can't I be like other persons who are sort of a little more sedate, a little more bland, not so up in your face, And he says, look, I have made you the way I have made you. And the way I have made you is for a purpose. And for an eternal purpose. There are people who nobody else can reach in this world but you. That is why I have kept you alive on this earth. And I want you to look at your own characteristics that you do not like, your temperament characteristics which are permanent and unchangeable. And I want you to look at them and see that they are there for a purpose so that you can carry out the plan that your Creator has made for you. And anytime you start to get stressed and anytime you start to have lack, as I wrote to my son today, hi Isaiah, and Faith and his 3 wonderful children, Jadon, Simon, and Zachary. Oh wow. Shout out to you. I was saying to him, anytime you are undergoing stress and lack, it is because your spirit is out of sync with God's intent for your spirit at this time and in this place or space. So I say the same to all of you because I consider you my spiritual children. I consider you, I have a mandate from my Creator to share with you whatever He has blessed me with and empowered me to do. It's not for me. It's for me to get over my own challenges and then help you to get over yours. So I want to share this with you. It was sent to me by my very special soulmate. And it says, our greatest fear. And I added to it, becomes our liberating force. And this is it. Our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate, but it is not our light, not our own darkness that frightens us, And we ask ourselves, who am I to be so brilliant? Like a light, gorgeous, handsome, talented, and fabulous. Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking, so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to make manifest the glory of God within us. It is not just in some, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we consciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our fear, our presence automatically liberates others. And so, I am going to be telling you a little more about a whole corporation, a whole network, a whole platform that we have been putting together for the last 3 to 4 months to empower every single one across the whole world with the ability to patch into this genius that I have, that you have, that all of us have, and to learn from each other, to share with each other, and everything is going to be free. It's going to be a lot like all the different social networks that we have currently in place. And it is going to be also an opportunity for you to learn and grow and share, and the possibilities are endless. You can have your business on it, you can contact your friends through it, you can show your videos on it, you can talk over it. As I said, the possibilities are endless. So listen up, because we're going to be telling you more and more and more as we are ready to boss it out. So just remember that I told you about Fat Book, and we will tell you more about it as the shows go along. But you know what I feel like doing? I want to read this one again, because it did so much for me. It liberated me. So let's hear again our greatest fear, which becomes our liberating force. Our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate, but it is not our light or our darkness that frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, handsome, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? Every one of you out there was made brilliant, gorgeous, handsome, talented, and fabulous by our Creator. That is what it says in Jeremiah 29:11. It says that you were made with a plan, perfect plan. And much more to have you. It was to give you a hope and a future. This plan was to make you get to the expected end that you were created for. This plan was to give you success and prosperity. And so, the sooner you get organized and start moving along with this plan, the better for you. Remember, if you have lack and if you have stress, you are not moving with the program. So get with the program. So, you're playing small. Does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. Oh, we were born to make manifest the glory of God within us. That's the Spirit within us. It is not just in some, it is in everyone. And that is why I developed this genius analysis psychometric test. You know what it does? It discovers and shows you how to develop the genius in you and your child, so that you can realize all of what you're created to be. So, we were born to make manifest the glory of God within us. It is not just for some, it is for everyone. And as we let our light shine, we consciously give other people permission to do the same. I'm getting a view of my shoe now, so I have to make sure I have everything else in place. Right? I'm showcasing the wonderful creative talent of our Jamaicans. Crochet rose shoe. And is my foot on the camera, please? Thank you so much. Right, because every show I have to remind you of how resourceful we are as Jamaicans and how we got to, what is it? Make your hand and turn fashion, whatever it is. But we know how to just get something out of everything, every time. And this is my design that was given to a lady, and now she makes hundreds of different, variations on this design. So, moving right along. As we let our light shine, we consciously give others permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So as we go out today, you have 24 hours to put this into practice, because tomorrow is another show where we're going to celebrate life. We're going to actually come to rule number 4, which says how to enjoy the journey of getting into spiritual health. Right? So, hey, guess what? I never will show you my drink today. Usually it is green. Voila! Today it's orange. And this is my pure carrot juice, which was extracted. Now, why do I have this today? Because guess what? Whenever you're on a program, you've got to keep to the fact that you want to have it on time. And because my show was moved from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock to 12:30, I had to have my green juice on time. So I go slip down. So this is actually my 2 o'clock drink, which I'm going to have a little early. I start sipping it early, from 1:30 until 2. And so, we're closing out right now. And I am going to just give you a cheers. We might have another glass to most against, but let me just use my bottle. And I'm going to say, whoa! Cheers to green, yellow, and red. Remember, those are the colors of life. Make sure you got the blood strong. That's why I wasn't red all week. Because you gotta get the blood in good condition to maintain the nutrition going to all your cells. And you gotta get the yellow because that's your antioxidants to get out all the junk. And then your red, your power, red, yellow, and your green. Remember, 5 greens, 3 yellows, and 1 red every day in order to make you healthy and keep your immune system pumping. So pump away, as we end our Celebrate Life.me program for another Thursday, and you get ready to be here on Friday when we're going to enjoy the ride. And oops, I gotta tell you what's going on after me, because you can't just run away now, because guess what? It's time to listen to, and let's make sure I have the right one here. Up next at 1:30 is Neil Haley. He speaks to Jarvis Green or Greer, a former American football defensive end and played for the New England Patriots. I'm going to have to send this man to a class, What you call it, penmanship. You remember when you used to have that double space exercise book and you have to make sure that you put all the letters into the space? Alright, it's Neil Haley, and he is going to speak to Jarvis Greer, a former American football defensive end, and he played for the New England Patriots. So those of you who are NBA and NFL and all them sort of fans, you can't mix this program because I don't interested in anyway in these things. But now and then, because he gives you all these insights into these people, now and then I sort of listen and I say, but wait, that's interesting, because I know what they're telling you. They're telling you how they got to the place where they became a star, and therefore how you can use the same principles to become a star. So don't miss it. It's important. And see you tomorrow, same time, same place, reggae2reggae.com. And remember, we bring you the best of Jamaica and anything to do with Jamaicans. So join us. See you tomorrow.
Somehow I know it's got to be rearranged. Ooh, oh my eyes. These words have been spoken by my master. They will come to pass. With all this injustice, this world could never last. Oh, somehow I know things have got to change. Somehow I know it's got to be rearranged. Ooh, yeah. Somehow I know things have got to change.
Since the first public demonstration of radio by Nikola Tesla in 1893, no one ever thought of putting the 2 R's of music together until we created Reggae2Reggae.com.
We're back to the Total Tutor Show on the Total Education Network, TotalTutor.net.